Greetings, fellow YouTubers. There we go. Turn that down. There we go. Just right. Awesome. So right now, I am doing a load of laundry. It's important to make sure your clothes are clean and that you smell fresh for whatever opportunity comes your way. Now, coming at you with another video, and I happen to have a black and mild wood tip wine, excuse me. This is a black and mild wine wood tip cigar from Milton's. Black and mild wine wood tip cigar. YouTube. That's where it's at, man. So while I was out and about, making my rounds and doing a couple of basic errands, I went and picked up a new lighter. It's a pretty sweet looking Bic. Hell yeah. I went to Ace Hardware to get some more black paint for finishing my batch of wands here. And ran into a cute girl by the name of Betsy Bauer. And here's her business card. Check out Betsy Bauer, and she does sculpting on Instagram, if that's your kind of thing. Be sure to give her a shout and a check out on Instagram. So a shout out to Betsy. Thank you for chit-chatting. Now Betsy comes up to me and she goes, "Are you Gothic King Cobra?" And I said, "Well, yes, I am." And she goes, "My friend is just the hugest fan of your videos. Can I get a selfie?" And I'm like, "Sure, not a problem." Like, I didn't mean to be in such a rush when I was chit-chatting with her, but other stuff to do. But it was still nonetheless nice talking to her, and she seemed very happy. So, hell yeah. She says she also has her own YouTube channel, and she's inspiring to do more with her life. Now that's something you hear a lot of people say, is they try to get better or they inspire to do more with their life. Now, the thing I'm going to say is, what's stopping you? Also want to give a shout out to Richard Schofter. Keep your head up, bud. I know life sucks, but it'll get better as time goes on. There are times when we try to better ourselves, and no matter what we do, it always bites us in the ass. There are times when we try to better ourselves as people, and for whatever ungodly reason, life prevents us, or tries to anyway. Now, in the most basic of examples, What I mean by this is life likes to test people. Let's say you're gonna quit smoking, right? That's when life will test you, give you the worst day of your life, to the point where you want a cigarette. You sit there saying you're gonna work on your temper. Okay, that's when life will do things, throw things in your pathway that'll piss you off and test your so-called word, if you will. Now, personal growth doesn't happen overnight. I'm a personal witness to that myself. I'll acknowledge firsthand that I have a temper and I'm trying to work on it. And, that's when life likes to test people. Uh, I sit there and say, I'm going to work on my temper. Okay, that's when life says, well, you know. The last couple of months have been a testament to what I am saying. For me personally, the last couple of months, I've had my moments that were stress-inducing and anger-causing. And a lot of it comes from being frustrated with my own circumstances, plus the stupidity in our society. It makes my head hurt, and it is what it is. But somehow, I wake up and I says to myself, tomorrow is a new day. And I know that once I learn to control my temper a lot better than I have been doing, life will get somewhat easier. And these are just personal goals I have, to have more confidence in myself and to work on my temper. Now the question is, what are your personal goals? Now in the case of Bessie, show that card off again, give her a shout and a look on Instagram. She does some pretty cool stuff with the sculpting. She told me she was inspiring to do more, which is awesome. Now, the 2 P's in life, perseveration and patience. Or should I say persistence and patience? The 2 P's in life, persistency and patience. And which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Which comes first, persistency or patience? Persistency and patience is much like the yin and the yang effect of life, if you will. You must learn to be persistent with your goals, otherwise they will never be met. But you also must have the patience in yourself for that persistency to work. So you can't have perseverance without patience, and you can't have patience without perseverance. That's just how it is. And believe me, everybody in life will everybody goes through that point in life where they just want to give up. They can't take it. That's when you have to reach deep down inside yourself and find the strength from within to reach out, and not only to reach out and find that strength from within, but look around you and realize your full potential. I'll be the first to say it. When it comes to women, I have high standards. But I can't have high standards in women without having high standards in myself. I can't expect to have a banging girlfriend or a girlfriend in general, if I have a nasty temper. That just is what it is. Now, once I've learned to control my temper a lot better than it has been lately, I mean, to be fair, if you would have met me 8 months ago, I'm a different person. But if I want a girlfriend, I have to have more confidence in myself, and I also have to work on my temper and make just a little bit more money. Now, here's the thing of it. When you have more confidence in yourself and you work on personal weaknesses, maybe you're like me, you have a temper, you're learning to control it, or maybe, whatever your personal goals are, you can achieve them if you put your mind to it, within reason. Now, I know it can be difficult when the odds are stacked against you and you feel like you can't win sometimes. You feel like no matter how hard you try, it's not good enough. Been there, done that, burnt the t-shirt. Going back to what I said earlier, if I'm learning to control my temper, for instance, there's times when I go for like weeks without losing my temper, and then something stupid will happen, and I'll flip out about it for like maybe a minute. I'll cuss, and then I'll get over it. So then it feels like that no matter how hard I've been trying, I still occasionally lose my temper. That makes me human, I guess. But my point being is that if you have at least a couple people that care about you, and believe me, I know that there are some days we try our hardest, it doesn't feel good enough. We might feel like nobody cares, but if you have at least just one person that cares, take into consideration your words have an impact on the life around you. Now, for the longest time, I took rejection from the opposite sex very personally. And to be quite fair, it doesn't matter what, the rejection's over. When humans get rejected, they feel incompetent. They feel less than good enough. You know what I'm saying? Every human hates getting rejected, whether it be on the dating scene, maybe you're applying for an apartment, maybe you're applying for a housing loan or a job and you get turned down. Maybe you go to the grocery store and your card gets declined. Okay, rejection is unfortunately a part of life. And here's the thing of it, chicks dig confidence, and when you get rejected by the opposite sex, it's hard to have confidence. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like, okay, what is it about me, and blah, blah, blah. And it's very easy, okay, it is very easy to get wrapped up in that self-loathing and that self-hate. So it's a vicious cycle that feeds itself. When you get rejected by women and you feel like shit because of it, you have less confidence in yourself. And then that less confidence reflects. So even if you appear confident on the outside, on the inside, a lot of women are going to sense that and be like, yeah, no thank you, I don't want any part of this. So how did I get over not taking, how did I get over taking rejection personally? More confidence, plain and simple. Realizing that, okay, when you have 7,303 subscribers on YouTube, that's something to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? When you got hot-ass chicks who stop to take a selfie with you because their friend's like the biggest gothic King Cobra fan or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It makes me realize that women who reject me are stupid. Not intellectually stupid, I mean overall just, you know, I'm not talking intellectually stupid, I'm talking just stupid in general. I can be a nice guy, but I can also be as mean as I am nice. And usually the nicest people are the scariest to piss off. I'm just saying. That being said, how many women out there crave a man with muscles, good looks, and some popularity, and what have you? You know. How many women would crave to be in the arms of a sexy bad boy who plays guitar? That being said, I have the satisfaction of knowing that I have the patience and perseverance to wait. When it comes to dating, you shouldn't be in a rush. Good things take time to develop. And quite often, if you rush into things like dating, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be unhappy with your decision. Now, life is no different to an aspect. If you're in a rush all the time, you're going to overthink things and you're going to make your life 10 times more complicated than it needs to be. So it's learning to multitask and manage your time more wisely. You notice, YouTube, you notice that people are in a rush. People are in such a rush to go places anymore. People are in such a hurry. And that's because they don't take time to manage their time. Now, it is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That is true for everything in life. And if you learn to plan accordingly and organize your life a bit better, realize some personal goals. When people say, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" Okay, don't think about 10 years from now. Think about now. Now, for example, someone says, "Oh, Mr. Gothic King Cobra, where do you see yourself 4 years from now?" My simplest answer is living in my dream house. Now, how do you get to that goal? You play the lottery, keep making music, or start writing novels. Either you become super rich, winning the lottery, becoming a rock star, or a well-published author. One of the three. See what I'm saying? I mean, that's life, dude. Like, that is life in a simple nutshell. You know, you just gotta be goal motivated. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, life is never easy for anyone. There's times when life will kick us in the pants repeatedly. And that's when you gotta find the strength within to get back up and keep on trucking. That's when you have to have the strength within. Life kicks you down, you get back up and you spit in life's face. And you say, "Is that the best you got, life? I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing." Now, what's stopping you from achieving your personal goals? Only you. Don't let life or anybody else stop you or say, "No, you're not good enough." Because that's bullshit. I had an awesome fan send me some pipe tobacco, so I really appreciate that. Y'all will be getting 3 brand new pipe tobacco reviews coming up on YouTube, so stick around for that awesomeness. And now that I got sweaty paint. I need to finish my handles on my wands. I can start another batch. Now, for years, people have been telling me, Josh, you need to start selling wands to your fans. You'd make a decent living doing it. And for years, I kept on saying, oh, I'm not good enough. Finally, I had enough of it, and I went for it. And I tried one batch, just to see. It sold out like that. Second batch, just as quickly. And then the next 3 to 4 batches after that, I know I'm batch number 6 or 7, and yeah. And that's what life's all about, man. You gotta find your wand making, so to speak. Metaphorically speaking, you gotta find something in life that you're good at and that you can do as a hobby or as a way to make money. Because life gets boring when you don't have a source of entertainment. Life gets boring when you don't have hobbies. Something to take your mind off the stress of everyday life. Life only gets harder as we get older. It never gets easier. That is the God's honest truth. But that perseverance and that dedication in life does pay off eventually. Yo, this black and mild wine wood tip cigar, yeah. Milton's makes excellent pipe tobacco. If I'm getting a black and mild wine flavored cigar, you gotta go with the wood tips. Tastes so much better. And believe me, I've been there, done that. It feels like no matter how hard we try to better ourselves, it feels like no matter how hard we try to better ourselves, YouTube, it feels no matter how hard we try to better ourselves, there's always going to be something preventing that from happening. And in that regards, Facebook, life is like a video game in that aspect. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Now, maybe if you're trying to better yourself and it's not working, maybe you need to rethink your strategy. Like, maybe if you're having a hard time getting a job or a hard time getting this or that, whatever you're having a hard time with, rethink your strategy. Try something different. Approach the task at hand with a different approach. And just see what happens. You might actually get something out of it, you never know. And the important thing in life to remember is it doesn't hurt to try. It doesn't matter what you're going through in life. Life can get better. But if you choose to make decisions in life that make your life difficult, then naturally your life is going to become difficult. You choose to make decisions in your life that'll improve your life and make your life easier, then of course your life's going to get easier. It's just that simple. But here's the thing, YouTube. That first step begins with you. that first step begins with you. Jealousy makes people do some stupid shit. And if you're jealous of what that person has, stop for 1 second and think, just for a moment, why are you jealous of that person? And how do they get the thing you're jealous of them having? You know what I'm saying? And you look at how they do things, and you'll see firsthand. You'll see firsthand how it's done. Now, for example, if you're sitting there going, okay, that guy's got a girlfriend, I don't. That makes you jealous. Just a hypothetical. You start asking yourself, okay, how did he get that chick? You look at what he has. Does he have a car? Does he have a job? Does he have his own apartment? See what I'm saying? These are things you have to consider. Now here's the thing of it. A lot of people are jealous of my fame on YouTube, so they pick on me. And instead of realizing that I've worked my Asperger's off on YouTube to get where I'm at today, I've busted my Asperger's making random videos on YouTube for 10 plus years before I started getting noticed. And that's exactly my point, the perseverance and the patience. Now, if you're looking to try cigars for the first time and you don't want something super expensive and you don't want to have to cut it or toast it to light it, pick up one of these Black and Mild wine wood tip cigars, and a single will cost you about $1 in some odd cents, not too inexpensive. And the flavor is just exquisite. Only if you're old enough to smoke, of course. If you're underage, then wait till you're old enough. I'll grab some water, I'll be right back. Now, case in point, there are some people, there are some people who start off with nothing. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who grow up with humble beginnings. And there are some people in life who have to bust their ass to get where they're at today. And all that hard work and perseveration and dedication pays off. And then there are some people who have it handed to them. Is it fair? No. By all means, no, it's not fair when there are people out there who struggle to better themselves and make an honest living for themselves, and they do everything they can to make it happen, and life refuses to cut them a break. And then you got other people who don't struggle at all. And here's the thing of it. You think that just because that person had their life handed to them, you think that they don't struggle? Oh yeah, trust and believe. Everybody struggles. Everybody struggles in their own special way. And if you think your struggles suck, trust and believe, there's always somebody out there who has it way worse. Now, I gave the fan a shout out on one of my Facebook Live videos who sent a tobacco, but I'll do separate reviews for all three of them on YouTube coming up, like I said. But hopefully this video gives you some inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because as soon as I adapted a new method to the dating scene, started having a lot more confidence in myself, and started working on my temper, almost overnight, the response from the opposite sex has been exceptionally awesome. You know, when you're bettering yourself, when you are bettering yourself, YouTube, when you are bettering yourself, people can sense that. When you become a better person, people sense that. And when you better yourself, it feels good to know that you're doing something constructive with your life. Instead of doing something just destructive, you're doing something constructive. You see what I'm saying, you two? There are some decisions that are inevitably destructive for our lives, yes. But things like having a nasty temper, things like not having enough confidence in oneself, things like hanging out with the wrong crowd of people, and making shitty decisions in your life in general. These are destructive decisions. But choosing not to make those destructive decisions is a constructive decision. The difference being you're actually using your life to better yourself. Life is too goddamn short. It really is. You know, you're gonna blink and next thing you know, life is just gonna flash right before your eyes. And when you pass away and you look back upon your life, and I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, if you look back upon your life and you are a shitty person, if you are a shitty person in life, 9 times out of 10, you might look back upon your life and go, fuck, I was a real asshole. I could have done things differently, but now it's too late. Fuck suicide. I don't give a fuck how depressed you are. Okay, it's not worth it. It's not. You know. And I'll be the first to admit it. I had suicidal depression at one point. And what broke me of that depression was watching how Chester Bennington's suicide affected the world around us. There were so many people grieving over the loss of an amazing musician. And you take a look at all that grief, and I guarantee you, even if you're not as famous as Chester was or still is, that grief is still going to be felt by at least one person that cares. I don't care what you think or say. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't. I don't care how bad you're struggling. I'm particularly reaching out to my younger fans because, you know, some of my younger fans are still in high school and they're still struggling with the social bullshit and what have you. I'm not going to say it gets easier or it gets better when you get out of high school, because I'm not going to lie to you. It does get tougher when you get out of high school. I'm not saying that to scare people, I'm saying that to prepare you. You think that the assholes in high school matter? The answer is no, they don't. The people who are being jerks to you in high school, stuffing you into lockers, bullying you, and this and that. Trust and believe, when you get out of high school, these assholes aren't going to matter. What's going to matter is your life and what you're doing with it. Now, even though each high schooler's life is significantly different, there are a couple things that every high school student is going through. Puberty, peer pressure, trying to figure out who they are and what they want to do with the rest of their lives. Those are the four things every teenager is going through at some point. Puberty, peer pressure, figuring out who they are as people, and figuring out what they want to do with the rest of their lives. And that being said, I'm not asking you to hang out with people you don't like on the weekends. I'm asking you to be somewhat understanding. Because we are just right around the corner with a brand new school year. This is a chance to better ourselves as people. This is a chance to make something of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? A good education can get you places, YouTube. You gotta say no to hard drugs and get a good education. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you do those two things. Get a good education, get yourself a high school diploma or equivalent, and say no to hard drugs. You say no to hard drugs, and you get your GED or high school diploma, you'll go places in life. You know what I'm saying? And this is something, I make this video because I want to help younger people especially relate to one another. You know, one person may be tossing a football and scoring touchdowns for their school. Another person may be just some total geek, drama nerd, computer type. It doesn't matter. They come from different social walks of life, different sides. But those four things I mentioned earlier is those are the four things that every teenager has in common. And let's repeat, what are they? Figuring out who you are as a person, figuring out what you want to do with the rest of your life, puberty, and peer pressure. Every teenager goes through those four things in the course of their high school existence. So why the fuck do they bully each other? Is it a dick measuring contest? Because let me ask all these jocks that like to bully nerds because they think it's funny. Are you intimidated by that nerd's penis size? If you're not, then why the fuck are you stuffing them in lockers? Because you realize that once you get out of high school, they're probably going to be your future boss. And when you have kids of your own and you're struggling to make a living, and you go up to your boss and you're like, hey, look, I've been busting my ass here, man, and my wife just got laid off, blah, blah, blah. I was wondering if you could give me a raise. And your boss is going to look at you and be like, oh, like the time I asked you to stop stuffing me in the lockers. Yeah, no. That's usually how it goes in life. That's usually how it goes in life. And here's the thing of it. This is just my advice, but I've seen a trend with certain behaviors regarding mass shootings and shit. Hashtag fuck school shootings. On the for real, hashtag fuck mass shootings. Okay, bullying the socially awkward kid. Okay, I know it's a stereotype. Okay, I do. I know saying that is a cliche and a half, but yeah, you never know, right? I mean, I'm not telling the ladies to go fuck the guy. I'm just saying, don't treat him like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Granted, yes, I was a socially awkward kid in high school, and I didn't do anything stupid. I persevered and pushed through it. I went from being bullied in school to becoming a YouTube celebrity. See what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying every person who gets bullied is going to grow up and do amazing things with their life. That kind of thing doesn't just happen overnight. It starts with the perseverance, pushing through and ignoring the bullies and making your education happen for you. So that when you get out of school, you can make something of yourself. See what I'm saying? Most of the assholes that bully you in school end up leading very unhappy lives. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny how life works because, yeah, in high school and junior high, I got rejected by chicks left and right. That shit sucked, dude. And now I got chicks that watch my videos religiously. It's funny how life works like that. Usually the chicks who reject you in high school and are completely snobbish about it, they end up in unhappy relationships. That's how life works. Unfortunately, shitty people just attract shitty people. It is what it is. I mean, you could be a nice person in general, but, you know, if you have those characteristics, it's gonna happen. Now, if a chick says she hates you, and she's not the kind of person to hate, it means she really, 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 really likes you, and she's not sure how to internalize it. You may not realize that when you're going through that experience, but when you get a little bit older, you'll look back on it and go, son of a bitch. Oh. And here's the thing of it. If you find somebody attractive, but you know what I'm saying? Don't deny you find them attractive. You're only going to lie to yourself. Now, if you can't have that person, at least admit to yourself that you find that person to be attractive. It'll be less stress on you when you're living life. You know what I'm saying? You can sit there and say that, oh, you don't find that chick attractive, blah, 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 but your face gets red when she walks by. Like, who you bullshitting, bud? You trying to bullshit yourself because nobody else is buying it? I'm gonna bust out my church warning. Give me a second. And of course, I'll bust out one of the tobaccos that was graciously sent to me by a fan. This here is Kentucky Select. This is the red flavor. Comes in a resealable bag. Oh my god, that just smells good. You open up that bag and it's just unsmoked tobacco and it smells amazing. It's a bit drier than some of your flavored tobaccos, so it burns quicker. This is what they call rolling tobacco or cheap pipe tobacco, and Hell yeah, this is about a pound's worth of tobacco this last year, good minute. So I'm going to load a bowl up real quick of some of this here pipe tobacco. Kind of push that down. Give you my review on it. This is not only an inspirational video, but it's also a little pipe tobacco review. Alright, now that we got my trusty church warden loaded up, grab the big lighter, fire this bitch up. Get a nice char light going. And then after that first light, you want to pack it down. That'll create a nice cake of ash. And after your char light, spark it back up. There you go. Now when you're loading your tobacco pipe, you don't want to load it too tight. You want to pack your bowl firm but not too firm. You want to have plenty of air when you're drawing on it. That Kentucky Select is delicious. The taste is consistent of cigarette tobacco. It just has that taste, you know, that nice, dry, harsh, regular flavored tobacco. Really good. It smells like cigarette tobacco too. This is a pipe tobacco that's considered a non-aromatic. It's got an excellent nicotine punch, a nice decent throat hit, really good flavor. Oh yeah. Despite being a little bit harsh, it is kind of smooth. It does go down with some pins and needles, but not very much. So it's kind of rough and kind of smooth. This pipe tobacco is pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. Show that logo. Anyways, this is King Cobra JFS. Back at you with another video. Some harsh tobacco. Hell yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you cool cobras later.